Hello, everyone, and welcome to WUB Network, America's Sports Leader, for the 600 sub live Q&A. I'm Eddie Kalegi. Just wanted to thank everybody for the 600 subs. It's very exciting just to get to this mark. 2-year anniversary of the channel is coming in on January 2nd was when I posted the first video, so be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I was actually very particularly happy because there were no questions that I had to get rid of because, for being stupid and stuff, that you guys actually follow the rules. I didn't have to get rid of any, so I'm pretty happy with that. So let's just get into this. I put newest first. Whoever asked their question first is obviously getting theirs asked. And I know there's duplicates, so I will skip over any duplicates. So Super Rizzo Gamer 44, who I believe is set to be the Grand Marshal for the Atlanta NPCS race. First one, favorite NASCAR race. I've liked a lot of the Daytona 500s. Probably 2011. I like the Trevor Bayne one. That was the first race I actually watched all the way through. Favorite NASCAR diecast. I don't really know. I like my favorite one ever, I think, is the Matt Kenseth Zest car that came with a free bar of Zest soap shaped like a car. That was pretty cool, and I like the colors on that too. Favorite NASCAR driver, Truex. I'm probably asked that about 20 times. Favorite movie? That is tough. I just like a lot of Christmas movies. Polar Express. I really like Christmas Vacation. All the National Lampoon's movies are pretty good too. Favorite TV show? Toss up between King of the Hill and Curb Your Enthusiasm. What non-NASCAR sports games do you play? Used to play a lot more, but now it's just I play 4 games. I play Heat 3. Well, mainly 3. I have Madden, but I don't play that as much. I play Heat 3, MLB The Show, and NBA 2K. Ethan Matheson, what is your favorite type of video to make on your channel? Well, this is basically your shout-out, World Racing Animation. But, favorite type of video to make on the channel? I love making the stop motions, but they are very stressful and very time-consuming trying to make them and edit them and everything. They're fun to make, they just take a lot of time, so my favorite ones to make are actually like those basketball videos, like the one I make the highlight ones, or baseball, because those are very easy and quick to make. They take me like 10 minutes, so, what was the scariest accident you've seen in any motorsport over the years? This is also from NASCAR Kumon Cup Series, NASCAR or something else. Well, NASCAR accidents don't really scare me as much because, I don't know. Because they're usually not that bad. Because, I mean, ever since 2001, there hasn't been a deadly crash, really. So, scariest things I've seen are the IndyCar ones. Because it seems like every time I watch an IndyCar race, something bad happens. Because I've seen Dan Weldon's fatal crash live. I've seen Justin Wilson's. And I saw Robert Wickens' paralyzing wreck live on TV. So, I think the scariest one has to be the Dan Weldon wreck because there were so many things. Yeet, it's Jose. Okay, what school class you like? Okay, I don't like science. Trying to think of my favorite. This year it's probably English with Mr. Mazza. That's pretty fun. It's probably my favorite this year, but usually I also like history, which I still do, and math and French. And I play an instrument in the band, so yeah. Okay. Tim Hortons Cup Series. Oh my gosh. Okay. Should the NL have a DH? No, I hate the DH. It shouldn't even be in the American League for baseball, obviously. What genre of videos have been your favorite to make? I already answered that. Should umpires switch to robots? No, I don't trust those. If NASCAR adds more tracks, which ones would you like to see them add? Well, I'm very excited about the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway thing, so, I mean, if they add that, I'd be happy with that. I'd like to see Rockingham. I'd like to see them try to bring back Texas World Speedway as a third plate track, and an actual road course, not another Roval, like an actual road course. I like the track they used to go to in Canada, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve or whatever. what do you think about the whole Truex versus Logano incident? Well, although I'm a Truex fan, I know Logano was being a little dirty at the end, but then again, it was for a spot in the championship four, so it's not really that big of a deal. And Truex was kind of acting a little weird after that. I'm gonna do that, not to win the war or all that. For a Truex fan, I'm actually pretty mellow about that whole situation, because I mean, Logano was good at that point. Logano had been good all race long. It's not like he just came out of nowhere. I think Logano was better than Truex all race. What does WUB stand for? Westinghouse, Universal Broadcasting. Do you like Brody? I know exactly who that is. That's the GM of the Mets, Brodie Van Wagenen, and I think he's pretty good because he's actually made some pretty decent trades that I've heard about, like Robinson Cano, Edwin Diaz, and only gave up like old chubby Jay Bruce and one prospect. It wasn't that bad. So I think he's better than Sandy Alderson was. Who was your favorite YouTuber? Probably still Aflac Cup Series. I like Eric. I like David Land. I like TD Barrett. I don't know. That's basically where I am. What are the biggest problems in baseball and NASCAR in your opinion? Okay, baseball, I think it's the shift because I think that should be illegal. I'm not a big fan of that, and also the roids, but that's pretty obvious. NASCAR, it's over negativity from the fans that really act like they are so negative about everything, even if things are good. And also, the ticket prices are just ridiculous because, not being stereotypical or anything, but a lot of NASCAR fans are in the South, hence why the sport is mainly out of the South, and there's a lot of poorer families there, and, I mean, the prices are just ridiculous for anybody. The ticket prices are way too high, and that's why there's so many empty bleachers at these tracks, particularly the mile and a halves in the South, that A, there's not as many rich families that can pay for that, and B, because there's too many mile and a half. So that's the other problem, because for some reason about 20 years ago, everybody thought, hey, a million mile and a halves are pretty cool. Did you know I was your 600th sub? Yes, because you said it. Do you like Logano? Not really. Hey, it's Tyler. Okay, my question to you is, what stop motion of yours did you enjoy making the most? Okay, so mile and a half races and stuff I really hate making. That's why there's not that many on the schedule. I know I'm making one right now, but road courses are pretty fun, but sometimes making the tracks, because, I do go very low budget, like Watkins Glen, I don't even know if the turns are right, so, those can be kind of annoying. Plate tracks can be stressful, trying to make good wrecks, trying to keep the pack together, trying to make sure there's enough movement in the pack, but not too much, because there's certain stop motion series where the cars there's too many lead changes and stuff. I love making the short tracks the most, but plate tracks are just fun because I love making the flips, and road courses I always add in some weird stuff too. But out of any race, the one that I enjoyed making the most was the very first one, because I didn't know what I was doing, but then when I started realizing that I could make it and actually make it look like decent and not like some 7-year-old kid in his room with 4 subscribers, I was pretty excited about that. Hey, it's Crash. Nice job, my dude. Do you care about the NFL? Okay, yes, I'm not as big of a fan of the NFL. My 3 favorite sports are NASCAR, baseball, and basketball easily, but I still watch football a lot. I have a fantasy football team with my dad that just won the championship. First championship. We've done it for 10 years. But anyway, yes, I do care about the NFL. I watch the NFL a lot. Easily my favorite team. Fly, Eagles, fly. Philadelphia Eagles. Easily my favorite team. Players, well, Nick Foles, St. Nick is our hero. I'm not really as much of a Carson Wentz enthusiast as most Eagles fans are, because all the Eagles fans are like, oh, Carson Wentz is still the greatest quarterback ever. He's still our franchise quarterback. Well, who won the Super Bowl? Oh, you better like the Cowboys. No, I absolutely despise the Cowboys. I don't like Jerry Jones. I don't like Zeke. I don't like Dak. I don't like anybody involved in that organization. But anyway, yes, I love the Eagles. And I'm not a bandwagoner, I promise. It's not because they just won the Super Bowl. I've been a fan since 2007. David Akers their old kicker gave me a high five at training camp in 2007. So yeah. So that's my answer to you, Crash. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Something about a ninja with Joey Logano. Okay. Favorite NASCAR driver? I knew this was going to come like 10 times. Truex. Well, 2014 to 2018. I like the elimination style. I I don't really like stage racing. I'm not really a big fan of that. I I love ideally. Okay, Fireman Ninja. Okay. Okay. Thank you. My ideal system would be this current point system with elimination in the playoffs. Yes, playoff points, but wins do not lock you in. You get playoff points, you get like 3 points per win you have. And get rid of the stages. Just get rid of them. If you had that, and then you went round of 16, round of 12, round of 8, well, you know what? I'd also want the season shortened, so round of 12, round of 8, round of 4. So get it down to 7 playoff races. 10 is ridiculous. And shorten the regular season by a few races too. Maybe 20 regular season races, 7 playoff races. Wins don't lock you in, no stages, but still elimination style playoffs. But I also think the playoff points should carry over to the championship 4, not just necessarily make it the highest finisher. It would give kind of like that old school feel where drivers have to finish in a certain position and not just beat out 3 guys. That would be my ideal format. I know people like 1975 to 03, 1975 to 03 format, but I kind of like what we have now, but just stage racing is stupid. Favorite NASCAR team? Well, now the Furniture Row is dead, and I'm not a Joe Gibbs fan, even though Truex is there. I like JTG Daugherty Racing because, I like the NBA, and Brad Daugherty was a very good NBA player back in the 90s for the Cavs. Favorite NASCAR race? I already answered that. Negative Alex. Who can be the new NBA dynasty, not being the 76ers? Probably the Raptors, but I still think I have not gotten to your question yet, Fisher. Yeah, I'm still pretty far down. I think the Raptors, but I still think there's some holes on that team, and Kawhi gets hurt too much, and I don't think Kyle Lowry can carry a team. I think Denver's going to choke. Boston, I think, is already very good, but I don't think they're going to be a dynasty. Utah's not good enough. I'd watch out for Milwaukee if they signed somebody to join Giannis on that team. Because if they had Giannis, Bledsoe, and somebody else, then they could have a big 3 and they could go on a dynasty. But you said not being the Sixers. The 76ers are the next dynasty. Will the Charlotte Roval be a part of your series? Well, for the All-Star race, I'm still determining what I'm going to do for that. There's a possibility the Charlotte Roval will be it. There's a possibility it could be Charlotte with plates. So it's going to... that's still... depends. Okay, favorite NASCAR moment, Trevor Bayne winning the Daytona 500 and Truex winning the championship. Favorite NASCAR movie, Talladega Nights. If you were a driver in NASCAR, what number, sponsor, etc. would you have? Well, just look at my car in the VRC. Flex Seal, number 99. That's basically it. Who do you think will take the 41? Daniel Suarez, but I think it's very suspicious that this thing is still going on and he still hasn't signed yet, which means I think they're having issues with sponsorship. But I don't know what the deal is with Stewart-Haas Racing, because is Gene hard to work with sponsorship? Does he demand too much money? Because, I mean, you've got a Cup champion who was there, and I know Kurt Busch is his domestic violence and threatening reporters and all that, but still, you've got a past Cup champion on your team, and his only sponsors are the title sponsor for the series. But that's all right, Evan McLeod. But his only 2 sponsors were the title sponsors of the series and Gene's company. Then you've got Gene's company that was sponsoring Boyer for half the season. Then Almirola, of course, has Smithfield. That'll always be with him because he's fueled by bacon. And Harvick has a lot of sponsors because he's one of the 2 best drivers in the series right now. But I don't know. They will get it together, and Aris will be the sponsor of the 41, and Daniel Suarez will be sponsoring that car. But I don't know. I just think they have some issues negotiating sponsorships. Opinion of Moffitt losing his ride? I I mean, that stinks. I know that was kind of sad that that happened because he just won the title, but I think this gives him other opportunities, and I think he's going to end up with a better ride next season. I don't know where yet. I don't know if it'll be in Xfinity or Trucks and what team, but I think he's going to get an opportunity. But the fact that that team was actually able to pull out the title is just something to be excited about. Honest opinion on Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is a very talented driver. Kyle Busch, I say, probably in terms of talent right now, is one of the two best right there with Harvick, but I'm not a big fan of his attitude. But at the same time, I do feel kind of bad for him because there are certain fans who act very uneducated around him. So, obviously, the fight at Bristol with the fan, I don't know. He's not as bad as some people make him out to be. What got you into making stop motions? Watching the Aflac Cup Series, I was a watcher since all the way back in Season 2. If Truex retired at the end of 2019, who would be your favorite driver and why? Well, my next three favorite drivers are Aric Almirola, who I've liked, and then I like, AJ Allmendinger's gone, so forget him. I just love the JT Gidardi team, so Buescher and Preece. I think Ryan Preece is going to be good. Who's your favorite band, if you can just pick one? I like Imagine Dragons, but this is a tough question. Band, because there's a lot of just singers that I like, but band, One Republic is still pretty good. Fall Out Boy, The Score, I like The Script. That's the basis of what I can get to, but there's just mainly solo artists I like. Bryce Vine, Khaled, Ed Sheeran's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Why does McDowell DNF every race? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize I was doing that till like the end of the season, but then it just turned into a meme last year in the Progressive Cup Series that Michael McDowell got so many DNFs. He had a couple blown engines. There would be these wrecks. And you know what? At the end of the season, it was just funny. There were a couple wrecks where he was just like so far behind, and he'd just find himself involved in. I remember the big one at Daytona in the Pray for the Lombards race. He wasn't even close to the pack, and he was still involved in the wreck. So, yeah, did he? Oh wait, he did DNF Daytona, like the Daytona 500. Well, hopefully that ends starting at Atlanta with the new team. So yeah. Braden Racing Network, great job. What's your favorite paint scheme? I said that earlier. Matt Kenseth, the Zest car, I've always been a fan of. That's probably my favorite paint scheme ever. Right now, I actually like the yellow Blaney car. I like the orange, the Auto Trader cars, the Keselowski and Logano run. I like Almirola's car. I like Chris Buescher's car. So that's where we're at right now with that. All right. Still a lot of questions to get to. Oh, there is a question I can take down. Well, actually, I'll answer that honestly. Okay, favorite NASCAR moment you have seen in person? Well, I've only seen one Cup race in person, and it was the Pocono race back in June. So that was a pretty exciting race. Favorite NASCAR moment, though, I've seen in person? First wreck I ever saw in person was when Mike Skinner wrecked in Pocono qualifying in 2011 right in front of me, which was pretty cool. First NASCAR race you ever watched? I was watching races in 2010, but the first full race I watched was the 2011 Daytona 500. How'd you become interested in NASCAR? Cars movie, and then slowly diverged into NASCAR. Do you think NASCAR's a dying sport? It's not going to die. There's no way it's going to die. But it's becoming less... It was always a regional sport. NASCAR expanded in the 90s and the early 2000s and became more of a national sport, but I think it's going to lose its nationality and drop down to a regional sport again. Would you ever attend an IndyCar Series race? Not really, because every time I watch an IndyCar race, someone gets killed, so I'm not really that into IndyCar. Okay. Oh boy, first OMA question. Okay. Alright, so I know there's half the people here watching will have no idea what I'm talking about for the next 2 minutes or so. Okay. Truck Series. Donovan should get it, but I just have a feeling that something's going to happen. The Queen City Inc. wants to obliterate him. All three drivers, Storm, Thomas, Andrew, they all want to take him out. So I think he could be at risk in the finale. I gotta say Brandon Morris is gonna get the truck title. I don't think Mark. I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna get it. I know I say Mark's gonna get the title, but I don't think it's actually gonna happen. Next, I forgot what track even the next finale is. If somebody here could look that up and see where the next finale is, and then I can answer that question, because that actually depends on that. And then the VRC, I don't see Aiden losing it. Okay, it's Atlanta. Atlanta, Talmadge. I think Talmadge is very good at mile and a halves. Final four, my prediction for VRC next. I'm gonna go Talmadge. I think JoJo's gonna get things together. I think Jose is on a hot streak and he's gonna get in. And I think JT's figure things out. I think Matt. I think the two Caseys are gonna make the playoffs, and the two Caseys are gonna get eliminated. Not make the championship four. But I think Jarrett wins. So Morris wins the truck title. Talmadge wins the next title. And Savitsky, I think, wins the cup title. If he doesn't, then it's Tyler. Can me and the OMA gang meet up at a racetrack sometime? Well, you'd have to get people from the OMA gang to meet up with you at a racetrack, and I don't know who would. So, no offense, Mark. Can you sing Country Roads for What Incarnation? Well, What Incarnation is not here, so I'm not doing that. Favorite old NASCAR race? 79 Daytona 500. So that was pretty cool. Opinion on Mark Silas. Okay, you're an interesting fellow. You're a little crazy sometimes, but I don't know. People make people think you're like this awful driver, which you're not. You were pretty bad, but I mean, you're better than you were. And I mean, you got the win, you got the second at Texas. That race you were actually really good in. So, you're getting better. Still get on my nerves sometimes, but you're doing better, Mark. How's Just a Potato? Where do you get all these great die casts? And where'd you get the idea to make a broadcast channel? I don't know. I just wanted to start a YouTube channel, and this is the stuff I'm interested in because I want to be a broadcaster. Where do I get the die cast? I get the NASCAR Authentics from my Walmart, which is like 2 minutes away from my house. I go there. There's like a Walmart, and there's a big Amazon factory over there. I order online from Lionel Racing, and then at the tracks, when I go to Pocono or Dover, I usually get some. Hey, Caleb Rose. Wait, did he say anything else? Okay. Please continue with the NASCAR series. Okay, favorite food. Something involving either ice cream, cheese, or peanut butter. Favorite NASCAR game. I always like NASCAR 14. It's somewhere between it's either 14, Thunder 04, or Heat 3. But there's problems with all three of those games. Thunder 2004, the damage looks so phony. NASCAR 14, the physics are not the physics, but just like the way the cars are on the track just looks so weird when there's like 5 wide packs at every single track. Then Heat 3, the physics are just weird. Favorite NASCAR diecast, I've gotten into that multiple times already. What's your favorite restaurant? Applebee's. Yeah, but I don't need any old cars, actually. I just get the ones for my stop motion series. What's your favorite type of NASCAR track? Short tracks, road courses, plate tracks. I don't like mile and a halves. But my favorite one to race at in these like leagues and stuff are the 2 mile tracks like Michigan and Auto Club because I can just dominate there. Yeah, Fisher, you can answer his questions. Let's see. Would you consider doing vlogs or tutorials? In the summer, I plan on doing a tutorial like during one of my stop motions just to show how I do it. Not going to be too much, but I will do something just so people see how I do my low budget, low quality stop motions that are probably much worse than, I mean, they come out well, but they're done much less professionally than all of y'all. What got you into stop motioning? Aflac Cup Series. Okay, so I'm guessing T-Miner Gaming is asking about the MLB videos that I make because he comments a lot on those. Okay, who will win that AL pennant? Well, I'm going to have more videos for that coming in a few days. Red Sox are really good. I think the Red Sox are still better than the Yankees in real life and on that game. so I could see them win the pennant. Well, that's an easy question because the Marlins suck. But yeah, I know I'm bad. I'm pretty bad at tracks, and I'm not artistic, and I have no desire to make fancier tracks. I'm fine with what I have with them. Okay, who will win the NL pennant? Well, Cardinals are a better team out of those two, but the Dodgers in the season sim, the Dodgers are the best team. What made you like NASCAR? I told you cars, and then I started watching the races. What made you like basketball? I've watched basketball since I was like 4. And then I had NBA Live 2004 on my GameCube back in the nether regions of 2007 and 2008, and that's when I started really liking it. And then what made you like baseball? I had gone to baseball games since I was 3 years old. Fisher, the answer is no. I am not gay. What inspired you to make... I am very not gay. What inspired you to make the NPCS, the Aflac Cup Series? Who do you think is the best NASCAR driver of all time? This is the last question. This is tough. Because a lot of people, Richard Petty has the most wins, but everybody's like... that he was racing with less talent on the track. But okay, in the 60s there wasn't as much, but he raced in the same track as David Pearson, back in the day of David Pearson. Then you had Cale Yarborough, Bobby Allison, then further on Darrell Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt. It's not like he had a lot of competition. Okay, Fisher, I'll refresh the page after this. What you call it? But I still think Petty's the best. I'll give you a top 5, though. I think Dale Earnhardt is the second best. Then I'd go Pearson third. Jeff Gordon fourth. Jimmy Johnson fifth. Should I retire from the OMA? Oh, this is a good one. Okay. The Fisher, this is actually better than your first question. It's up to you. Whatever you feel is better. But I'm just gonna say, Fishy, you're pretty slow. No offense. But you could have more opportunities. You could be a spotter. You could focus on owning your team. You could be a broadcaster. You could do a lot of other stuff without racing. And you're gonna miss the races. But every race you end up getting like yelled at by people. So. It's up to you, but that's my honest opinion. But that's it for the Q&A, so thank you to everybody. Thank you for 600 subs. We're up to 601 now. So that's pretty nice. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. I might have some videos coming in the next couple days. I go back to school January 2nd. January is going to be crazy busy for me, so videos will be less than, but I will get some NASCAR. I will get the Progressive Cup Series Atlanta race up, and start working on Martinsville, which is going to be fun. And basketball and baseball videos, and then I have something else planned that is in the works to start early February, maybe late January. So not revealing anything about that yet, but I do have something else new planned, and it involves NASCAR, so you can be interested about that. So that's about all the time we have, so we'll see you next time here on WUB Network. I'm Eddie Collette.